Hey everybody, welcome back to Landshark Garage. This episode, Mrs. Landshark and I are going to try and complete the dash install. If you recall from the episode before, Mrs. Landshark took this dash, repaired all the cracks in the vinyl. Now we're going to put it back in and hopefully not put any cracks in the new vinyl that's been repaired. Here we go. Alright, so I'm cleaning up some of the dash pieces. When we knew we had to replace the blower motor switch, which was right here, and when I pulled that loose, I noticed that the heater controls and the air conditioning controls, see how they broke off down in here? There were no screws in here at all. So I found some new screws, and what my plan is I'm going to put the screws in and push these back where they're supposed to be, and then I'm going to use this structural adhesive that I've used on a couple different things, and I'm going to fill in around the screws and never take the screws back out again. I don't know where them screws would have been unless they broke loose and shook down, but I'll clean this all up because this is all has to be taped off and painted on the front anyway to cover. Did a little cleaning on the dash. Somehow the rust got inside there, and that'll just stay that way. Got a headlight switch to put in, clean this up, and that's what we're going to do. Could not figure out a way to take those ends off there without ruining them, in my mind, the way everything else is on this thing. So I'm just leaving them on there and working with what I got. See how that takes. So these screws will still screw in here, they're just not going to hold worth of crap. It just disintegrates as I'm working on it, so hopefully if I can get that structural adhesive in there, that'll hold everything together. You can even see the blower motor screws are that way too. I don't know that I'm going to do anything there because it is actually holding, but there's nothing on the outside of these. They're not going to get moved a lot because we do not have air in it. And I got a new blower motor switch we'll put in there. Get some of this stuff mixed up and see if we can gop it in there. Let it thicken up a little bit, kind of like you do with putty if you need to get it to stick. Okay, now we're just going to let that set up. New switches in, did the same thing with that adhesive. Put it in the screw holes before I put the screw in there, so hopefully we'll never have to take that apart again. So I'm replacing the headlamp switch on this. This is a good time to do it, basically. I had a tough time getting the knob out of it, and usually you reach up behind there and push this button, you can pull the knob right out. Well, this one with all the corrosion that's inside of there, that wasn't working, so I kind of questioned how the rest of it was going to work. So new switch, it's got this bezel on it with the cross in it. I'm just using a flat bastard file and holding everything at the same time, because there probably is a tool for this, but you do it so little that it, there we go, it doesn't matter. So maybe I can salvage this bezel screw. If not, I have a new one. hardest part usually is getting the knob out and then loosening this up, because it's so wide. You know what I mean? This fits in there like that. So if you can get that end of that file in there, you can break it loose. The new one's got considerably smaller head on it. So I think I'm just going to reuse the old one. I'll keep the new one. But like I said, then when we go to put the knob in, I'll just push this button and that'll drop in there and we'll be good to go. Good to go. GTG. Kind of keep looking things over and seeing what we need to do to get that put in there, all hopefully in one felt swoop. Let's take a look out the window here. See what's coming. See what's coming. Oh, look at that. Grab your shit. Look at that bad boy sitting there. He's next. Finish them rockers, get rid of some rust, put some fenders and hoods on that. We have most of our vehicles don't have fenders and hoods on them for some reason. Well, we went ahead and put some primer on the fenders. A big whiskey dent there in addition to a fly. And on the hood. And we'll be doing the nose shortly, just so that so we can drive this damn thing. There's it was kind of like a patchwork quilt. One fender was blue, one was gray, hood was white. There's a horrible putty job right here we found when we started sanding to do the primer on it, but you know what, we're just going to leave that for now because we know that eventually this whole car is going to get painted, so we thought we'd shoot it with this hot rod gray primer so at least the front all looks the same when we're driving it. We just got to do the nose. We're gonna get that put on. This is what happens when you don't have fasteners. You go to the parts store and you get every fastener and every one of these little clips that they have so that you have them. These guys right here, always missing, never where you want them, and also never the right size. Why would they start making them in metric too?
Perfect. Get that. Put that in there.
Hit that shit. Perfect. Perfectly aligned for the people that are going to drive it.
Good enough for who it's for.
So this thing didn't come with the nose cone on it, so we're really not sure how that's going to work. We'll figure it out. And now we're going to do the same thing on that side.
Jake just doesn't really care if he's in the way or not.
Anybody else have problems with their Milwaukee tools where this, you've got to frickin' cram it up there all the time? It's just this ratchet that does it. Makes me mad. Ah, the joys of YouTube editing. So what we discovered while we were editing this video is that when we were shooting, putting on this fender, that somewhere along the line the camera quit working, malfunctioned, had a moment, had gremlins, did something. So let's talk a little bit about what we did here. Both fenders, this top bolt holds it on. There's a bolt inside the door here that holds the wing on. And then there's two bolts down here that hold that on. Two bolts on the inner fender well that go to a bracket in there. And one bolt right here that holds it against the firewall. And you saw us putting that all in, but we were working on this little wing, that's what I call it anyway, when the camera decided it wasn't going to work anymore, and we just realized it. So there are 4 bolts inside there. They're metric. They've got like a little captive U-bolt that attaches to that bottom plate, to this plate right here. And there's 3 of them there, I'm sorry. And then if you look up higher, there's 3 more up there. And you can see the little captive U-bolt right here that slides over, that goes through. One bolt comes in through the inner fender well and holds that on. And then that's about it. Oh, there's a brace. There's a brace right here that comes up to the bottom of the battery tray on both sides that we had to put in. And there's these bolts where the front fender goes through this radiator support. You can see them here. This one's kind of janky in here. This one's hidden underneath. But all those bolts, once we got them put in, so there's a lot of stuff that holds just this bottom piece on. We've got a light that goes in there. And as we were putting it together, we didn't realize that the camera quit playing that. Of course, we talked about it earlier. We did this side first because we knew this side was good. On the driver's side, same program. Everything kind of went together the same. Ended up using some different U-bolts, but got everything squared up after dropping that motor on the radiator support. We think that probably might have had a little bit of effect on it. If you saw that in the other video, and the support's in there, everything's along there. We're getting real close. We're getting real excited. So we're going to attempt to put this dash in. Trying to remember how we took it out. See, Mrs. Landshark painted the dash black to match the rest of the interior that we've done. This spot right along here goes on that tab over there, and we'll walk around and look at that. And then there's 3 dash clips. There's one here, one down here, and they're all at a different angle, and they go into these slots here, here, and over there. So we're gonna have to tip the dash and put it in there, and then I'm gonna try and get underneath and pull on these tabs because there's a little catch on them that latches it in. So we're gonna have to like 45 the dash, slide it in there, and then get up there and try and pull on them tabs and see how that works. There's no guidance on this again, so I'll show you that other side that we're talking about. Looks pretty sweet with the fenders on. So this little piece of steel goes in right here, and then there's 2 screws that go in and hold it up. And this is camera 2. You see what you're seeing there? So once we get that rocked in and locked in, we are gonna, then we'll be able to start like putting the screws, and there's some screws that come in from the back to hold it against the bracing here. Of course, we got to make sure all the wires that we need to put through each hole was in the right spot, and the dash cam fell, so we're gonna have to go get that. I hope nobody got hurt. Here we go. So you see where your 3 tabs got to go in at?
Yep.
This one goes right here. So the middle one is loose. So that little dipper-doo's got to go over that too. That little thing there.
I feel like we just need to get it up there and
get it up there.
Should be a not glasses project.
I did that because that made the most sense to me.
Okay.
So
it's hooked over the shifter.
Yep. There we go.
Oh, how come I got beside with all the...
And we're done. Cut. I don't know if we are.
No, I think they're...
I gotta get up. Look.
How do you get them to hook?
Okay, let's not fight against each other. I'm gonna do mine. So this one, that one's in. Okay. I wonder.
Oh, this one didn't get...
Let's will it stay there?
I think this one is not where it's supposed to be. This one's down below. It's not good. My clips aren't high enough.
Yep, I think we need to convince this guy to stay here.
But I need to get mine up because mine have to come up. They're behind where they need to be.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I can come over and help you if I can figure out a way to get this guy to stay. Or do you think you can?
No, I think I need to pull out.
Once this goes in there, then you reach in and you pull it and it clips down around and into this clip.
Okay.
So it goes into the little ones.
You told me that before we started.
I told YouTube.
Take 2.
Take 2. It's okay. I did actually explain. I explained to the viewers where it went. I did to you. So that middle one should be the hardest because.
Well, I can't reach the middle one. That's
the middle one's yours. And now mine will go in. There. That's all we need to do.
Are you kidding me?
No, and then I just got to get in there. I got to get underneath there and pull them because there's a latch that's got to. Otherwise, this will slide right back out.
Simplest thing we've done on this stupid car.
No, we're not done yet.
Well, no, but it's there.
It is there. Rusty looking tabs there. I have to pull them back and latch them. There's 2 that need to be latched. So I'm going to use a long needle nose and try and pull back because I don't want to push against Mrs. Landshark's beautiful dash to try and get that to latch in there. So I'm going to pull on that tab and pull on that tab, and then there's one more tab in the middle of the dash that I'm going to try and get to latch, and then we can start putting things back together. But this is not a camera related event. All right, everybody, we didn't give up on you. Things back in. Steering column's got to go in. We got to do a little carpet just to get it all tucked under before we put the seats in, and we'll be rocking in this thing. Got to put that JVC stereo in yet. Should be pretty straightforward. Thanks for watching. We appreciate it. Never forget, drive your shit. We'll see ya.